You've probably seen those pictures, right? A massive volcano just erupting, and then bam! In the middle of all that ash and fire, there are these incredible bolts of lightning. It seriously looks like something from another planet, but it's totally real. So, let's dive into one of nature's most spectacular shows, volcanic lightning.
To really get our heads around this, you have to appreciate the sheer power we're talking about. I mean, this isn't just a regular storm. It's like two of nature's biggest, baddest forces decided to team up. Just try to picture it. This giant column of ash and rock exploding into the sky, and then these brilliant, jagged flashes of light cutting through all that darkness and chaos. It's the perfect way to put it, isn't it? A scene that's both terrifying and absolutely beautiful at the same time. No wonder it's fascinated people for centuries. And yeah, that brings us to the big question here. It just doesn't seem to make sense, does it? We think of lightning belonging in thunderclouds, made of ice and water. So how in the world does a mountain of fire and molten rock cook up its own electrical storm? Well, the answer lies in a concept that scientists have given the best nickname ever, the dirty thunderstorm. And it's a fantastic name because it kind of gives the whole game away. We're about to pull back the curtain on the physics that makes this seemingly impossible thing, well, possible. Okay, the key scientific principle here is something called the triboelectric effect. And I promise it sounds way more complicated than it is. In fact, you've totally played with this before. It's the exact same static electricity that happens when you rub a balloon on your hair and it sticks. See? Friction creates charge. Now just imagine that on a volcanic scale. So here's the play-by-play. First, you get the eruption itself, just pure violence, blasting billions of tiny ash and rock particles upwards. As all those particles are flying around, they're crashing and rubbing against each other like crazy. And that's where our friend the triboelectric effect kicks in, building up a massive static charge. Next, all the wild air currents in that plume start to separate the particles, creating these huge zones of positive and negative charge. And finally, when that electrical imbalance just gets to be too much, nature has to balance the books. And it does that with a gigantic spark to neutralize everything, a bolt of volcanic lightning.
And this is why that dirty thunderstorm name is so perfect. In a normal thundercloud, you have tiny ice crystals bumping into each other to build up a charge. In a volcanic plume, you have ash and rock fragments doing the exact same thing. The ingredients are different, but the physics, the friction, the charge separation, the discharge, it's exactly the same process. It really is a thunderstorm, just made of dirt and rock instead of ice.
But understanding something like this is way more than just a cool piece of trivia. It actually points to a much bigger idea. You see, when we start to figure out how nature pulls off these seemingly impossible tricks, it can spark some really incredible human inventions. It's this amazing journey from something being totally unfamiliar to it becoming pure innovation.
I love this idea. It's so true. Nature isn't breaking the rules of physics. It's just using them in ways that are so incredibly complex and clever that to us, they look like magic at first. Volcanic lightning isn't impossible. It was just a process that we hadn't figured out yet. It was unfamiliar.
And studying these unfamiliar processes is literally a blueprint for innovation. It's a field called biomimicry. For instance, we've created super energy-efficient screens for our devices by copying the structure of butterfly wings. So it makes you wonder, right? What could we learn from volcanic lightning? Maybe understanding particle charging on that scale could help us design better ways to prevent static buildup in factories. Or maybe we could predict eruptions better by monitoring the electrical chatter. Nature's ingenuity is pretty much the best R&D department on the planet.
Which really just leaves us with this one exciting thought to chew on. Things like volcanic lightning are a powerful reminder that the impossible is really just a puzzle waiting to be solved. So, what other natural wonders, what other things that seem completely impossible right now are just hiding the secrets to our next great invention?